Welcome to Chapter 7 of the Portal 2 speedrun tutorial. We're nearing the end. So, this is another chapter that's on the shorter side. There's only 4 maps in this chamber. 4 maps in this chapter. 2 of the maps are really long though, and the last map is really hard. It can be a run killer if you're doing some of the harder routes. But this first map is fairly easy. There's 2 main routes. I will show the easiest one first and then the harder one. So, the first thing you want to do is while this elevator is coming up, move to the right of the elevator and then shoot a portal on this surface. If you shoot in the lower... Actually, no, this is for the harder route. What am I doing? I'll go over the easier route first. So the easier route is you just go out of the elevator and then go straight over to here. And then get in this... You want to be able to get in this spot so that this peg is covering the 9 in 1972. And that will line you up for a shot. So if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that peg, line up so that peg's covering the 9, you'll be able to see this portal surface and shoot it. You don't need a sensitivity bind for this shot. This shot is fairly lenient compared to some of the other shots you did in the run. So shoot there. And now, for the easier route, we're going to actually do a Pika portal, which is normally impossible in this game, but because if you look, when I go through this portal, my camera actually flips, and it takes time to flip. So we're going to abuse that to do a Pika portal. And what we're going to do is full speed, it looks like this. Except you wouldn't fall off. So go over here, shoot a portal here, and then right when you go through the portal, or like just after, shoot a portal. Shoot the same portal you're going through, just like a re-portal. Except shoot it a bit... Actually, it is exactly, it's a re-portal, which is actually a problem, because if you just do it, it'll give you speed, and a lot of times you'll get too much speed and you'll get knocked off here and die, which is bad. So once you shoot the shot, what I would do is like hold S, or like hold back, hold left a bit so that you don't fall off, and then immediately go back through the portal. And so now you'll notice we're up here. The reason we can't portal up here is because we need to keep our orange portal over there. And now, you do a simple fling through this portal. One thing to note is that you should hold W for this fling, because if you don't hold W, then it's possible to just, like, die. I didn't get it there, but my music is doing something weird again. I don't know what, but yeah, just hold W for this fling, and you'll go through. Pretty much, if you hold W, you'll never die, I'm pretty sure. Unless that happens, in which case you will die, so watch out for that. It's fairly easy. And now, I'm going to go, just to reiterate this, this is the hardest and most confusing part of the route. So shoot the portal after you go through the portal. It's a bit weird, but your camera will still be on this side, but your body's on the other side. And then hold left. You might want to practice this shot if you're doing this in runs. Alright. I've never not gotten the dialogue, so I don't know. But yeah, if you don't trigger the dialogue, then you will need to go back and trigger that, because that's important, as you may know. Now for the harder route, and faster. This is the route where you want to shoot a portal in the bottom left corner of this panel. It doesn't really matter, but the bottom left corner is faster while the elevator's coming up. And then you go here and do this shot again. If you want, if you need to, you can like count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and then line that up. But after running for a while, you'll get a feel of which one's the right one. So then go here. And there's a few ways to do this. When I said dialogue at the end, I mean like this dialogue. There's a trigger. That triggers the dialogue. You need that. So for the harder route, this is the hardest version. You do a re-portal there, and then land. That's pretty hard. An easier way to do it is to like get about here, do 2 jumps, and then do a re-portal. I missed the re-portal somehow. I don't do this, so I don't know the precise lineup. But it's something like that. If you can't do it in like 2 hops, I would not recommend going for it. Looks like that. If you do that, you might miss the trigger, so you'll have to go back. but you have to be really good at reportaling timing, and you have to reportal just before you jump. So again, if you use your index finger to scroll, that might be a bit of a problem. You might have to use the other portal. And then for this elevator, you want to enter when he says we're gonna change the world, and then change the world is garbled up, but enter on gonna. So I'll go over both routes just in their full. First, the easier route. I'll just do it and then enter at the right time.
The testing area is just up ahead. The quicker you get through, the quicker you'll get your $60. Caroline, are the compensation vouchers ready?
Yes, sir, Mr. Johnson. Boy, did I just... Who is that? What the hell is going on here?
Great job, astronaut, war hero, and/or Olympian. With your help, we're gonna change the world.
Okay, that's the easy route. And then the harder route is where you shoot a portal here.
The testing area is just up ahead. The quicker you get through, the quicker
Same
you
shot.
get your $60. Caroline, are the compensation vouchers ready?
Yes, sir, Mr.
Great job, astronaut, war hero, and/or
Looks like that.
Olympian. With your help, we're gonna change the world.
And this route only saves a few seconds, and it's really easy to die. Like, if you don't get the reportal, you'll die. If you jump at the wrong time, you die. It's fairly risky, so only do it if you're good at it. And quick mentions, I want to quickly mention something. If for some reason you like get the reportal but get blocked or something, and you have both portals over here, and you think you're doomed, it is possible to do something like that. Although this really only helped back in SS when you couldn't save and load, so in hindsight, I don't know why I brought it up. That looks like that. It's also really hard. Alright, on to the second map. So for this map, you're gonna, if you're doing the harder version of the route, you're gonna want portal funneling off. If you're not, then it doesn't matter. So basically, this map is the only use of a glitch where if you go and put blue portal on this surface, blue gel on the surface, and then you launch into it with high velocity and jump. I didn't get it there because I haven't done the setup. But if you do something like this, it's actually precise, so you need to do this setup right here. But if you do this, then you gain a lot of speed for some reason. So the easier way to do this involves getting putting orange gel on there, and then blue gel on here, and then going through here, through the blue gel, and then spamming jump as soon as you go through the portal. So let me start from the beginning so that the cycles are in the right place. So let me demonstrate what the easy route looks like in slight slow motion. Whoops, I got a stair boost there. Try to shoot those two portals. And put the gel there. And then I would put some gel there. And then get back here. And then scroll as soon as you go through. Oh, okay. Something to mention, if you do that route, you'll get a lot of speed. So try not to hit, like, this wall, otherwise you will, as I said, no orange gel crouch boost. You can, but it doesn't matter here. It only saves space, not time. So in full speed, that looks like this. I suppose don't do that either, because that's not good. Just try to go as straight as possible. Yeah, it is actually pretty important for this one that you be straight, so. And actually jump. There's another route. There's a route alternative that isn't really that much harder than this, that I'll be going over shortly, so. This route can be a bit weird. But the important thing is, once you get up here, there's a trigger here that you have to hit. And that starts the dialogue. If you don't hit that, you lose a ton of time. So, make sure to hit that. So now I'm going to be going over the slightly harder, but much faster route. I would recommend learning this.
If you're interested in an additional $60, flag down a test associate and let them know.
So try to shoot these portals so that you get blue gel there. I was able to shoot them fast enough so that I got blue gel here. But if you don't, it doesn't really matter. So now, shoot this portal on this way so that you can bounce off here without actually going in the portal. If you jump into the gel, you actually won't go high enough, so you have to fall off and then bounce, and you'll jump. And for this route, by the way, you do need to turn portal funneling off. So, actually, I'm not sure if you need to, but I believe it helps. The reason just falling gets you higher is because it's a glitch called double bounce, which is an exploit of a game mechanic that Valve put in to help you not get stuck in repulsion jumps. So, repulsion intro. So yeah, again, I don't think you need to use portal funneling off, but I do. You can actually just experiment with it. I believe it helps a little bit though. So now you want to line up with this pipe. Line up so that you're looking like basically straight ahead, and then your cursor is aligned with this pipe. Your mouse is aligned here. Now look in the center of this surface and shoot the orange portal. Now what you do is you hold W into the portal, and then scroll as soon as you go through. You don't want to scroll like insanely hard. I actually missed it there. Well, I believe if you scroll too hard, maybe not. Maybe actually, because sometimes you can get a glitch, a problem where you go like way too high, and then you'll have to go down here and activate the dialogue, and that loses like 2 seconds. But I think actually if you line up good enough and you do this, it's impossible to do that. So just scroll as hard as you can, and you'll go here. And then when he says again, go in the elevator.
Bonus opportunity I mentioned earlier. Again, all you gotta do is let us disassemble you. We're not banging rocks to get.
There's another route. There are some other routes that are slightly faster, but they're way too hard in my opinion. Or I haven't. There are other routes, but if you want to do them, you can look up tutorials for them, because I don't know them.
Here we know how to put a man back together.
Alright, so the next map is Conversion Intro. This is a bit of a longer map. It's kind of split into 2 parts. So, and there's only pretty much one route, so I'll go over that in depth. Speedball strafe out there, and then bunny hop left. While doing these hops, shoot a portal up there. Then go through, and here. Right here, you actually want to shoot a portal down there, not up there, down here, and then go through it. So right here, normally the game would want you to... I actually don't... Right, yeah, the game would want you to go in here and then do all this nonsense. But, route credit to Znernicus, you can shoot a portal there, in like the top left corner of there. If it's not in the top left corner, the jump will be harder. So in the top left corner of there, and then jump strafe right, and you'll land on this beam. And then you can jump again, and you'll land here. So, one more time. That is, shoot a portal there, jump right, jump off, and land here. And that skips everything over there. And now, jump through here. Right here, fall down and shoot a portal there, so that once you push the button, you can go out there instantly. Then go to the right, hit this button to turn on the door, open the door, shoot a portal there, and then jump out of it. If you do it well enough, you'll be able to jump straight through the door. And then it's just a matter of getting into the elevator as soon as possible. So, speed up this elevator. Alright, this is the second part of the map. What you want to do is shoot a portal there. Make sure it actually hits the... It's a very large helper, but shoot it there. And then one there. Now there's kind of a hard-ish route. It's not that hard. And then there's an easy route, which is also the backup. So the hard route in sort of slow motion is jump through the blue portal. Make sure you have portal funneling on for this. A lot of times, because previous chambers you had to turn portal funneling off, you'd have it off, but make sure it's on because that's important. And then shoot blue there, and then do a reportal. So one more time, it's portal there, blue there, and a reportal. You have to shoot the blue portal pretty early, otherwise it won't like coat this wall and you won't be able to do the reportal. But if you can't get that reportal, then what you can do, or you can like try it, and then if you miss it or something, what you can do is this. You can put the orange portal back, then shoot the blue portal. That is wrong. Shoot the blue portal here, so the gel lands up here, and then shoot it there, so the gel will land on that surface. Now, you do a pretty sweet fling, which is shoot an orange portal, strafe left, because there will be stuff there, orange, orange, blue, and then you'll land up here. So orange, strafe left, blue. And you also have to go forward a bit in the strafe, otherwise that will happen. And that's also the backup route if you miss the super reportal, but you can just, or if you miss the reportal, but you can go for that anyway. And then it's a matter of just getting to the end. Right here, there's a doorway that is very hard to not bonk your head on. You'll just bonk your head there. It's not too big a deal if you do. But then open this door. Right here, you want to zoom and shoot up to the very top. You probably won't get this shot first try. It's very hard to. But shoot there. And strafe down here into that portal and shoot there, so you don't have to go all the way down. Then jump out, shoot there, and shoot down there. And then just jump through, shoot the blue portal there, and strafe out into the right of this portal, so you land in the door. If you can't do that, for some reason, then you can just strafe out of this portal and shoot a portal there. So, and that's fine. Now onto the last and hardest map in Chapter 7, unfortunately. This map's called 3 Gels. And this is the, if you don't do the Crazy Box hard route, this is the first time we use a stuck launch, which is where you get stuck in between a prop and a hard place, basically. And the game believes you're falling, but the physics engine won't let you fall. And I'm going to demonstrate in slow motion what the first route looks like, and then I'll go over it. You see my velocity in the upper left corner is increasing. And then when it hits 2000, I strafe out, and I have so much downward velocity that I can bounce off that gel and go insane and land up here. That's the first part of the route. Now time to explain kind of what I did. So as soon as you load into the map, I press use to open the door. And then shoot a portal there on the left side of that surface and here. And then jump out of this portal, shoot there, and then strafe left so that you have speed into the blue portal so you can land up here. And then now, this shot is kind of hard because normally there's a placement helper here that ensures that, there's not a placement helper actually, but what you want to do is you want to shoot the portal here, like up there. And that's kind of hard. You want to shoot the portal there so that the gel goes through the bottom of the portal. So I found the most convenient way to do this is to stand about here, angle myself, and then shoot a portal and strafe right. If you strafe right well enough, you can end up here. It's hard to do, but if you don't end up here, then just shoot a portal down there. You can end up here, shoot a portal down there. That's important because it puts the gel there, which we will bounce off of. once you do that, you want to set up for the stuck launch. This is the hardest part of the route, probably. There's several setups. I'll explain the easiest one, and then I'll kind of roughly go over the harder ones. So the easiest setup is to jump from here onto this pipe, strafe right to the pipe so that you fall off. This is like a really thin thing that we're standing on, so we have to be right next to the pipe. Get in the middle of this, look at this seam between the white and black wall, and then hold W. And what we want to do is wait until our velocity in CL show pause is about 2,000. Wait until it hits 2,000. And then once it does, we want to strafe right so we hit that gel, and then strafe right so we don't hit that catwalk. So in slow motion, it looks like this. I'm holding W, and my velocity is just increasing without bound. And when it hits... Okay, I got a bad stuck there. Sometimes, if you don't get stuck launch well enough, it'll launch you early, which is not good. But that looks fine. So wait your velocity till it gets to 200, and strafe right. It's not a hard strafe. Strafe right once past the catwalk, and then left a little bit. And then once you're up here, you have to hit that shot. If you're not comfortable with hitting that shot midair, you can strafe onto like this platform, and then hit the shot, and then some, and then that. One thing to note, don't land in here, because if you do, you soft locked and you have to reload to save, because this portal surface doesn't actually exist for some reason. But then once you hit the portal shot above there, actually this is the second part of the route, so now I'll go over some of the other setups real quick, and I have to reload. Yeah, normally when you're running the game, there's only one number for velocity. The higher number is the 1. This is what it normally looks like when you're running the game. It's just one velocity number. And you wait for that. The other velocity number was 0, and that was showing horizontal velocity. But now I'm going to go over just quickly some of the other setups. So the other setups, these are a tad harder, involve you getting here. This isn't any special spot or anything, you're just standing here. And then look about here, at about that little mark on the pipe, and then tap S and hold D. Okay. I think I might be looking in slightly the wrong spot. No, it's fine. And then wait till your velocity hits 2,000 again, and just strafe left. Just do a big circle strafe left. Make sure this portal is all the way at the bottom, by the way, because I think that gel is a little bit more that way than it should be, and that's because this portal shot wasn't as good as it needed to be. So see, now the gel's landing a little bit more that way, and that's better. One of the other setups that you can do is you can look like here, and then tap S and hold W, and then once you start holding W, move your angle to there. You have to really tap S, I'm pretty sure. So I'd recommend doing the first setup I showed you because it's fairly fast and really easy. The first setup is really consistent. This one, where you just get in the middle, look there, and then hold W. And to get out of the stuck launch, by the way, you stop holding W and you strafe out of it. You can look at my keyboard inputs for that. Alright, now we're going to go onto the second part of the chamber, which has several different options. The second part of the chamber is this room, and it has this big vault door at the opening. Now there's two ways to get past this vault door, and one of them is very hard, sort of hard, but then it does save a bit of time. But the other one is fairly easy, but it loses like 15 seconds, I'm pretty sure. So I'll go over the easier route first, obviously. So once you've hit that orange shot there, just fall down. It doesn't really matter where you fall down to. This is the quickest way. And then just go through this portal. And then land. Shoot a portal up there, up here. Make sure it's very close to the top left. And then go through the portal and strafe right. That should put you in this room. If you want, maybe practice that strafe. But then hit the button. Okay, I was going very slow, so I didn't get it. But if you go fast enough, you have to hit the button. And then you have to look at this poster. If you don't look at the poster, you lose like 5 seconds. So like this. Just look at it, and then when she starts talking, you can move. So now you're gonna wait a bit, but you're gonna shoot a portal up there near the 3 pipes. You're gonna shoot it above them, and then get on top of the 3 pipes. Make sure you're in the center of the pipe, because if you're on the sides of the pipe, it's very easy to fall off. So get in the center of the pipe, and then wait here for the pipes to come down. It'll take a while. You can also wait until they're like almost done coming down, and then like jump onto them. But right here is what we call tube bounce. Since this pipe is carrying blue gel, it's actually bouncy. And we can abuse that to do that, which gives us height. So the blue gel bounces can be hard, but go forward and then left. I didn't jump, so that messed it up. But go forward and then left. And try to get yourself in the center here. It can be hard, but once you're in the center, just hold W until you see the tube curving, and then push right, so you can get over here. The reason that you can't go immediately is because there's this big clip rush that is sort of annoying. So yeah, bounce, and don't go too far to the side of the tube, because if you do, then that will happen, and that's awful. So this isn't easy, but it's easier than the other route, so there's that. And it's also, tube bounce is something you should probably practice, because it's finicky and weird. But I'm just holding W right now, I'm not doing anything else. And see, there I actually went off the tube too early, and I can't go past the clip rush. Okay. And by the way, the last thing you want to do is ride this elevator, because it is the slowest thing ever. So no, this is too late. Let me try the autosave. Yeah, okay. No, it's... Okay, now I'm gonna go over the other route, which is significantly harder. But it does save, I think, 15 seconds if you get it first try. And it's easier than it used to be, so. So, for the first half of the chamber, it's exactly the same. Just do all this movement. I'll slow it down a bit just so you can see it again. And that might not be a good stuck launch. Okay, it was. And then strafe right, strafe left, so you don't bonk on that pipe. And then shoot the portal, mid-air, or you can land there. Now, for this route, you actually do have to land on this pipe. Land on this beam, support beam. Then jump over here. And shoot the blue portal just normal, so the gel's coming out of there like normal. Now, for this setup, you're going to be doing a stuck launch on those pipes, and then bouncing off of here. So you need to put blue gel. You need to shoot a portal right where this big line intersects with these 2 fainter lines. You want to shoot a portal just above that. The portal opposite of the one where the blue gel is coming in. And if you shoot a portal just there, you'll see gel is coming in there, which is the perfect spot where you can do a stuck launch bounce off of them. So shoot the portal right there about where this line intersects with these 2 lines, just above that. And then wait for like 2 to 4 blobs to come through, and that'll put enough gel. And then you do the route where you shoot a portal up there, and then jump through it. this part is sort of slow. And as soon as she says paradoxes, go left, shoot up there, and then here. And get to this part of the pipe. You're on sort of a timer here, so I'm gonna have to explain this a lot. But just hold W so that you get into this weird spot. I'm not pressing any movement keys, but then I get into this spot. And then this is a problem because I only have so much time to set this up. So get into this spot until you get to there. And then line up your mouse so that the second number in your angle is about 0.00. It can be plus or minus 0.02. So then tap D. What I actually do is I bring my right hand over to my keyboard so I can use it to tap D until the third number in my position is 2197. It doesn't matter what the numbers after 2197 are, it just matters that it's 2197. So let me do that again in sort of slow motion. So the second number in angle should be about 0.00. And then hold D until the third number in my position is 2197. And then now you're actually set up to do the glitch. So make a quick save, and then when the shadow passes this part of the wall is about usually when I do the trick. And the trick is to tap D and then hold A. And if you do that right, with the right timings, so when that shadow passes the point I mentioned, tap D and hold A. If you do it right, you should get stuck. And then when your velocity is about 1100, go. Let me do it in super slow motion for you. Try. So you see I got stuck. And then when my velocity is about 1100, give or take some, strafe maybe a little bit to the right, and then bounce on the gel. As soon as you bounce, crouch, because if you're crouching, you will not bounce off that tube, and bouncing off that tube can actually mess you up. So then go up in between these tubes, and strafe forward so that you land on top of this clip brush. And that's the really hard route. So in full speed, I'll do it a few times, because it's, at least the stuck I'll do a few times. You'll see, because I was holding crouch, I actually bounced off that tube, but it didn't totally mess me up. If I wasn't holding crouch, I would have gone flying. Something to note, actually, when I tap D and then hold A, I'm actually using my right hand to tap D. I use my right hand to tap D, and then I take over with my left hand to hold A, because you don't need mouse movement for that part. So you can just use your normal hands, but let me do that in sort of slow motion. And by the way, if you have like less than 1100 speed, you probably won't have enough height to make it past this clip brush, which should be very sad. I already mentioned crouching in the air to not bounce against the tube. Yeah, and then once you do that, if you do that or blue gel bounce, tube bounce, and then you just want to jump over here and take the elevator to chapter 8. And for this elevator, it's as soon as possible. Also, this elevator is a bit glitched. If you stand in the front of the elevator, like if you go to the back and then stand in the front, there's a chance it won't move up. So you have to stay at the back of this elevator. Watch out for that. And I'm just going to do 3 gels both ways. One last time, because it's a very confusing chamber. So I'll do sort of the easier way first, and then I will load a save and diverge to the harder way. Whoops, sometimes that can happen. You'll fall off the pipe. If that happens, just bounce on the gel and get back up. You want to actually be looking parallel here, because looking parallel increases the amount of control you have in holding W in the air. Look there, hold W. When it hits 2000, strafe right, go out. Shoot a portal there. You can get a little more speed and then land on top. there, that's fine. And then here I'm going to be doing the easier route. So I strafe over here, shoot there. Whoa, whoops. It's the same deal in the thing I said in Chapter 5. That jump out of that portal can be a little bit weird. So then right here, something you can actually do to save a bit of time with this tube bounce is you can land on the tube before it connects to those tubes at the bottom, and you can start it early. And that actually does two things. You start it early and the tubes are higher up. So let me demonstrate what that looks like. It's kind of risky to go for that though, so watch out. And now I'm just holding W here, waiting until I see the tube starting to curve, and then I go out. Now I'm going to demonstrate the harder route. One, two, 3 gels, that should be enough. Usually here I look there just to check if gel made it, even though it always does. Alright, now I'm on a timer to get this set up, so go there, get my second number in my angle just about right, get to the third number in my position at 2197, and then save. And that's the harder route. I would really recommend doing the first route first, because the harder route is one of the harder routes in the game. But really, whatever works for you. Alright, so stay tuned for the Chapter 8 tutorial. This is, Chapter 8 is going to be the part of the tutorial that is most different from Znernicus's tutorials. So, really stay tuned for that one. And good luck on speedrunning.